I want to just give a shout out and say welcome, my friend Stonebender, to my show on my first live stream coming back here to the YouTube masses. I'm sure probably no one's going to watch, as I know the Freaky Friday show is going to be coming on here soon, but we figured, what the hell, we're going to get on here, we're going to talk some Mandelas and just show some of the residue that we have here, that I've been holding on to for a while. And Stone's had some things here he's going to be holding on to for a while. And we just decided tonight was the night that I wanted to try out this new format and get this stuff out there for our prosperity state. So, without further ado, Stone, how you doing today, my friend?
Good, man. Thanks, Kryptonian.
Oh,
Thanks for
right.
having me on, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Hey, brother, I appreciate you coming on. I mean, we sit down and I know we talk for hours about some of the stuff, and we've mentioned more than once that we want to go live someday and just talk about these things. And well, the day's here. So,
Right, man. It's such a, as everyone in the community knows, it's such a fascinating subject that just goes in so many different directions, man.
ah,
It's important sense of importance to the times that we're living in. So,
oh man, tell me about it. Man, I'm telling you, especially with that movie now, it's only a matter of time. I think more and more people are going to start digging into the Mandela effect. And, it's great that we do things like this. So at least that way, and maybe down in the future, they might see this information and then they can resonate to feel that they're at least not alone and not feeling, crazy.
right. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it'll definitely bring it to more people, and more people are talking about it regardless of the movie too lately. It seems in
Yeah.
different kind of circles.
Yeah, well, I know myself. I have, any chance I can when I'm at work and I get some free time and someone wants to mention, because they talk about like maybe current movies or a line in a movie. They had one day we were playing that stupid what was it, flip game, where you hold up the phone to your head and you gotta like describe what the word is without saying the word. So it was just funny because one was Silence of the Lambs, and someone mentioned Hello Clarice, and of course, me, that was my opportunity to step in and say, that's a Mandela effect. Hey, we have at least our first person watching, Kryptonian Prime Junior. That
Right,
must be my
cool.
son. That's my son. I think he's actually paying attention and watching us right now. So right on. How's it going,
How's it
son?
going?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, but yeah, no, like I said, man, I was sitting there trying to, I get any chance I can to get out there and at least tell someone about it. It's just, I'll do my best. The usually first one I jump into is the JFK, because how many people were in the car, and then,
Yeah.
you know, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking what would probably be a good way to get this started off and kicked off is I'm going to go ahead and play that video. And for
All
those of
right.
you that are tuning in later, just to let you know, I will put in the description as far as where you can actually see this whole entire clip. This is a small clip I found. It was actually on a. Let's see. I'm trying to do this in such a way where the algorithm won't catch me. So let's just say it's on one of those streaming programs that you have, in which case uh, it starts with a letter after the letter M and before the letter O. But the name of the show is Dark Tourist. It's episode 1, season 3, then known as the United States. This guy actually goes out onto a tour in Dallas, Texas, and well, I'll just play the video for itself. So let me go ahead and get this geared up here real quick.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing, man. I mean, I have yet to see too much JFK residue like this. And
Okay.
and pretty recent.
Okay. Yeah, well, 2000 and 2018 is when apparently they made they filmed this episode. It was July of 2018. I did some more digging into it just to see. So, all right, so let's go ahead here, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is share the screen. We're going to put the audio on, go screen two, and here we go.
Stand out, not my face. I know you're here. Oh, there's no missing it. Your generation, I'm impressed, David. Robin calls himself a historian, dedicating 40 years of his life to research into the JFK assassination, and he's dead serious about all the details. David, if customers want to do. What we're talking about is the day, November 22nd, 1960.
Yeah, it was frozen there for a minute. Oh, you there?
All right, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, man. I guess my first live stream, and of course I tried to share something, and something had to act up. But no one's really. Then I'm not seeing anyone's watching anyway, so it is what it is. Oh wait, we got two. Maybe two are watching and watching here. So yeah, I tried to play a video. Basically, it was showing residue as far as the four seater. So let me go ahead and we're gonna jump into now into yours, buddy. Let's bring this up here. I'm gonna see about getting it open. So you want to kind of lead in as far as how you ran across this information?
What is this? The
The
Spidey
yeah,
Spider?
yep,
Well, it was on a new action figure review on YouTube, and it's a new action figure coming out, Spider-Man, but it's a Far From Home version. I think it's a movie.
yeah.
I'm not into Spider-Man movies, but as you know, I collect action figures, and it's in the background there, the Union Jack,
Okay,
and it's residue.
and
It's a
so
residue version, and then the other one I had was the actual Union Jack action figure, which is not residue,
yeah,
and it
which
came
is
out maybe a year ago, and it's the same company, Marvel Legends.
okay. Well, I
So it's like
mean,
one new one is residue, and one new one isn't.
true. Okay, well, I got them pulled up here, so let me go ahead and go back to screen sharing so we can see it. So here we go here, and I'm gonna put that up here. So this is the one you showed me that you said that here was the residue, obviously, for Spider-Man: Far From Home, and which is I find ironic is that it's such a new movie coming out, and yet here they got the flag with the stripes all the way down the center, and then here,
Oh, it's
it,
yet to be released movie, or
it's actually been released. It's just it's on I think it's actually on video now or coming to video soon.
all right, huh?
So, but yeah, we have that, and then no, not yet, not yet, not yet. That's something else. And here's the current. how they supposedly in the reality, which is just ironic too, that it's both marble and that it's leaning more towards the side there with the white. So I
right?
don't know, man. That's pretty weird.
And that one's older. That's from about a year ago. And the newer one is, a few weeks ago, a month ago, or something. So it's not
Yeah.
like it was corrected.
I mean, let me see if I can pull up the other one again. Yeah, that's a good find, dude. I mean, you just happened to check it out and you saw it, or how'd
Well,
you?
it
I
just popped
mean,
up in my feed. I'm
gotcha.
subscribed to some channels that'll show different action figures that are coming out. You know, and I was like, oh, I'm not in Spider-Man, more like an Avengers fan. But
Hmm.
and boom, it was right there. But you know what? I haven't checked. I just thought about it. Is the actual flag to see if it flip flopped? That'd be pretty amazing. I
That
didn't check
is
that, and maybe that's why the newer version is right with Marvel. I doubt it.
wanted
I would put my money on
wanted
it.
to wanted to bring this up here, man. This one a friend of mine sent. He's working on a Volkswagen Beetle bug for his wife. I think it's like a 69, 70 model. He freaked out when he saw the VIN because I pointed out to him about the Volkswagen symbol having the line through it, and he thought it always did until he happened to see this. And he actually took these pictures of me of this VIN of the VIN here. So you see here where I got the one, he got one solid,
Yep.
and then here's the second side of it that he took too, right there. That's showing that they're solid on both ends. Hey, Hadley's
Yeah.
here. Rock on, Hadley. Welcome. Appreciate you checking us out there, brother. So
How's it going?
yeah, we're
Yeah,
we're
that's
showing we're showing some residue. So there's some of that, and Stone sent this. You were saying now you were mentioning before that you thought. Say that again as far as what we were talking about earlier. That was up the coast.
yeah. I never heard anyone talk about this, but it really seems strange to me. And I mean, like the South America thing really gets to me and got to me. Will always get to me anytime I see a map. So this is Italy, and you see maps in pizzerias all the time of Italy. So tell me if anybody ever watching this, um, if that seems strange to you, the placement of anything around Italy. Because I'll let you think about that for a second. Anybody watching the islands around Italy there? Because in my memory, I'm gonna say it, in my memory, Corsica and Sardinia weren't just north and south like that. They paralleled the coast of Italy as they went down. And actually they look a little bit bigger, but the change for me is they're kicked way out, man, way off the coast, and they should be, in my memory, parallel to the coast of Italy.
Okay. Hmm.
So I mean that's about it. If that resonates with anyone, let us know. But
Oh yeah, definitely. Please leave a comment and let us know below if you see this and resonate. I mean, myself personally, I can't say. The only thing I have a problem with Italy is obviously besides the way it keeps curving back towards this back coast right here from like the back of the boot. Like it's almost
yeah,
going to freaking touch, bro. And of course, the Sicily being so. I mean, I even remember like on Golden Girls. Remember Sophia saying things about taking the boat from Sicily to the main land of Italy, and it's like if it's this close,
they're
man, you could have a bridge. It just doesn't make any sense.
yeah, it
So
is. It is definitely closer too. I remember that one from way back.
yeah, and of
Oh,
course,
I'd be
I had
curious to know, like in miles, like how many miles the system says it is right now. I never looked into that, but I have a good story about that. Now that you brought it up, my great great grandmother, or I think maybe great 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 grandmother, came over to the United States. She left her husband in Sicily and came over to the United States, took the ferry to to Sicily from southern Italy, and I think from there, got on a ship to the New World or something.
Hmm.
And her husband showed up because she was leaving him basically, and started taking shots at the boat with a handgun.
Gotcha.
My
Okay.
Sicily to the United States story.
Yeah.
So if she was hit, a lot of my family wouldn't be here.
Dang.
That's how my clan entered the New World, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Mine actually, the border crossed them. When we didn't cross the border actually crossed them. Uh, we were here as far as in Colorado when Colorado was still Mexico, part of the Mexican territory, and then when the United States took over and moved the border, they were here. So
Yeah.
that's how my family kind of did. And speaking of that, I actually shown a picture, of course, of the Superman with the blood stripe. I still can't get over that every time I look at the flag. The flag looks so weird to me now. And then let's see what else I got. Oh yeah. Most of you, if you're stumbling across my page for the first time, maybe you're searching Mandela Effects, and you just need some of the ones out there. We have a few of them here. Definitely with the South America being below North America, like I remember it. Um, what about you, man? What you got, Stone? Are you a CHIC, or were you a CIK, or were you a CHICK for Chick-fil-A?
CHIC, as
Okay.
I remember. I had never actually, they're not in my area, but I remember them in different states and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not as strong for me as like J.C. Penney's, I would say, as far as wording of companies and stuff. But yeah, I don't remember the way it looks now is just not right to me.
Brother, you telling me a lot of this just don't look right to me. I mean, this makes me feel comfy whenever I look at it. At some of a lot of this on here. It's like, yeah, that's how we do it. That's why I had to share it. I had to grab it out there. I didn't make it, but when I stumbled across it and seen all this, it was like, yeah, man, that's a lot of what I remember. And here's your nice earth residue. Where'd you get that at? You just was this at like an art show or what?
No, that's right in my town here
Okay.
in upstate New York, and it's a hand painted globe. Man, I had the what it says underneath too. It was made in the '60s. I should have sent that to you, and I have video actually. I didn't know if the video would send.
Yeah, I gotta still work on that, man. And then this one here, man, with the Ford, that granted, I see where you still got the little bit of the pigtail, but it does look. I mean, where was this at?
Well, I mean, that's with the pigtail. It's like that was when I took that picture. That was on a job site,
Mm,
and it was just in the backyard. And I took it just kind of for me because that's the new way
yeah.
with the little curly tail at the end there.
Mm.
So I was like, it's just a way of me, like, this is like maybe 4 years ago when I was first into it, and I was like, wow, there's an old Ford right there.
And it's still showing there.
That's not a company change, man.
Eh.
It's not some change they made because look at this. And I just took the picture.
Now, can you still go see this thing, or is this not like around anymore? Or because I think
Yeah, I mean,
what
it's
would be
sitting in the guy's
interesting.
yard.
What would be interesting is if you see the freaking, like, say if there's some sort of weird flip flop with the Ford, and this disappears. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes back to the
Right.
Ford we remember. Then to go run out there and like see if that would be freaky, bro. I have not yet seen, and I don't know if I really want to. I don't know if my mind can, if I'm ready for like a flip flop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard about some stuff. It's certain stuff you can't see in person, but there's some things that seem like they'll never go back. Like there's no flip flop for them. There's no really residue.
Mm,
Some of the bigger things.
true. And okay, so here's the other one you sent me of that. Man, I just that up and down. Whoever sketched this out remembers it the same way.
Yeah, this was just some travel channel or something, or had something to do with traveling, and they sketched out the map there. If you
Hmm.
remember, same thing with the Great Space Coasters here.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody remembers that from the '80s, but pretty cheesy kids live action / puppet show.
Yeah, I think that was on for me. It came on CBS, not said PBS, Public Broadcasting.
PBS, yeah, it was on
Yeah,
PBS. Yep.
yeah, I
I think
remember
it was,
that crazy. And then they'd roll in. It'd be like look like a real coaster car come like cruising in out of nowhere, and then they jump in. It would back out. Yeah, I remember that.
yep.
Those were the days, brother. Those were the days. And I
Definitely.
love this one, dude, especially with someone remembering the ice cap on the top.
Yep.
That's just, I mean, that's crazy. 26,000 miles, the sun. You know what I also find funny is if you look at it, they're making the Earth the center. You see these wires?
Right.
They're basically saying that the sun and the stars rotate around the Earth.
Oh yeah, right.
Where'd you find this
Yep.
at? Where was this at?
You get into NASA too much, and you got to believe something else.
Oh no, I know. I'm just curious of who when they drew this picture. You know what I'm saying? It looks like they're trying to indicate something.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that. When I saw the small thumbnail, I thought it was part of the Great Space Coasters, but it's not.
Hmm.
Where I got that from.
And I find it interesting that they have 25,000 miles and the two arrows drawn around.
Right, they're going around the top and bottom.
Yeah, almost like we're in a glass, like it's all encased. Especially with the way some of those people have been theorizing, the Matrix and the simulation, and that the Earth surrounded in like some sort of prism that's supposed to be something was supposed to be brought down. I heard Naughty Beaver and a couple other people talking about it before.
Yeah, I've heard that idea.
I know. So I kind of find it interesting that I understand why you sent the picture, but it was just funny that now that I'm sitting here getting a good look at it again, that I'm seeing how first of all it's like all the stuff here means like it would come swinging around with the lines,
Right. Dude,
and
I didn't
then
even notice that, man. I
yeah,
didn't even notice that. It's what's funny is because when I sent it, I was just sending South America residue, and then you pointed out the ice cap residue, and then you pointed out everything else. And that's, after looking into NASA and stuff personally on my end, like that's kind of my worldview is that maybe the Earth is a sphere and the firmament surrounds the entire Earth. Because I'm
they're
pretty
good,
convinced
yeah,
that
yeah,
I
because
really
that's what
feel
it
like the
thinks
sun
of,
is
like
going around
firmament.
us.
I know, like they're saying, here's the firmament. That's good. That was kind of good, dude. I'm kind of glad you can. I just now having to look at it here on. I got it on the phone on the big screen so I could take a look, uh, and
Yeah,
see it from my end. And let me see. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else.
that's funny though. I was
Uh,
looking at other stuff.
and I did share this on Scarab Show once, but I would still think it's a good thing here. But I just find it funny how in the Wizard of Oz they have her in blue shoes with bows or blue socks. That's supposed to be the ME and the bows, and yet here in these toy photos I had found, and when I was found this toy that they didn't have it on the actual toy itself, and it didn't make sense. Of course, Fawn's in
Hmm.
his jacket, the black leather jacket.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, but see how they got the bows right here. Like I took the picture. Like it was so messed up, dude, because it's like on the package they had the bows. But when you looked, and of course I had to just show what the package was for the toy. But
Oh,
that the
and
shoes,
nope.
no bows, and the socks are not even right color.
Yeah, I had never heard of the one about the socks, but I don't remember. Definitely don't remember Bose on the ruby slippers there. Right. It's
So,
in the same package, man. It's like, you know,
mhm.
and attention to detail is something that high-end action figure collectors and makers pay attention to. So it's like somebody's sculpting that, you know what I mean? Like before they mass produce it.
Exactly.
So it's like an artisan that's their craft and stuff. So like no details and stuff. So that's my thoughts on it.
Well, and
Even
that's
more
where,
bizarre.
and that's what made me take those pictures, dude. That's why I was like, when I had to show that, it was like, are you kidding me? It's like, how is it that you're mimicking a movie, and this is supposed to be how it is in this reality, but yet you're going to turn right around and now not only not have it right as far as to the movie standards, but on top of that, you don't even have it right to what you have on the outside of the packaging. Come on, man. So, I'm going to lead into one that this one triggered me a little bit here. And, if you happen to just down in the comments when you see this, uh, I'd like to know as far as how you guys remember the spelling of this individual. She's actually came out with 2 hits back in the early or late 80s, early part of the 90s. One of them was known as Superwoman. It was kind of like this very emotional ballad song. The other one was called Secret Rendezvous. Um, Now, for me, why this individual, as far as the singer sung out, was the story behind it was I had an ex-wife who liked to turn around and she expressed a lot of emotions through her songs. And she'd play this a lot. And the song would be like the lyric, I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the type of girl that you can let down and thinking everything's okay. One of those type of songs. So, um, when I looked up at her name, I was in shock. And what shocked me was, let's go ahead here and I'm going to share the screen. And get over here real quick so I can pull this up. I mean, dude, this one blew my mind. I just, I don't know what to say. And that's, so here is how it's currently spelled for her. Now, Stone, dude, you're roughly, me and you have grown up. We're roughly around the same age. Do you remember anyone whatsoever, dude, in the late 80s and 90s that had the spelling Karyn for Karen?
No. No,
So,
it's probably not. It didn't even seem like it would be a thing back then.
so, and just to make sure that I was looking at the same one, obviously, if you YouTuber guys, you can pull her up, pull up the same songs. Um, Here it is, right here: "Secret Rendezvous" and "Superwoman," as well as the #1 hit song "Love Saw It," which was a duet with Babyface. She is married here. Where did it say it? Terry Lewis is the name of her husband.
Jerry Lewis?
Terry, Terry.
Oh, Terry.
Terry, yeah. I think I looked it up here in Personal Life. Here is where I verified it. Yeah, see. White married Terry Lewis in 1992. All right, well, I found residue that said otherwise as far as how I remember it. So I'm going to bring it up. First clipping here. As soon as I can get it to grab. So I thought, and the reason why I brought up her husband, because this is the first one I found, which was "Don't Believe the Hype." Talk show based on hip hop culture exposes male female relationships through a youth perspective Live. Music producer Terry Lewis and his wife, singer. See that there? Karen White, Karen.
Right.
I mean, that was numero uno, man. I mean, so, I kept digging just to turn around and see, because here's the second clip. Night
Yeah, that's
tracks
from a top.
schedule. Loser. Huh?
That's from a top 10 thing too, or something, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, I got one. Yeah, that's going to show that. This one here was Night Tracks, but yes, it's like Luther Vandross. She Won't Talk to Me. Good song. Vixen Crying. Karen White, Superwoman. See? Karen. Clip number 3. I mean, it's just crazy, dude. And that was, and I love it too. And of course, this was my favorite one, because it was like, brought up Babyface, and then it says, make emotional demands of their men. Karen White's Superwoman. And I told you, man. See, that's what I'm saying. My wife used to use this against me all the time, man. It was just funny. That's why I was like, nah, man, that's not spelled right. And the last thing here, which was what you thought you were looking at first, but it's definitely here. This is the actual um, top 10 singles. She was number 8. That was actually April 15th of 1989. Karen White, Superwoman.
So she was pretty known, but not like maybe Cyndi Lauper, which has the same, well, not the same letter, but there's a Y in her name, and that was the Mandela Effect that we had heard. Everybody's heard about the Cyndi Lauper one with the Y.
Yeah, I know.
But
But
but the
see,
funny thing is, we were talking before about how it's like famous people, and you had mentioned that it's even some obscure people too, but they're a little famous, except there's really no personal changes that I know of. Somebody's actual name on their license that's not a celebrity at all or was never famous.
mm,
I mean, I think I might have heard one person maybe mention that throughout the years, but I don't know who or how, or don't necessarily even believe it.
the part that gets me is like, okay, like with Cindy, I get it. Cindy was a lot, pretty famous. Some of these people that are these big celebrities are big, but for someone like Karen White, who only had 3 hits her entire career, and to be able to Mandela change such dramatically for like that, I mean, that's what I don't get. I don't
Yeah,
understand a lot of these Y's and these weird lettering and spellings of common names. And then, and then it always be that way. That's the part that really gets me the most. It's like, okay, but this one, I mean, dude, I just happened to look down onto Pandora, because I was like, she sounds familiar. It was that Secret Rendezvous song of hers. And when I saw the name, that's why I was like, nah, that can't be right. And sure enough, I look it up, it's right. So, I had to say something about it, man. It was just one of those. It was bugging me, and I was like, oh man, I got to get it out there, and I got to tell people, somewhat about it.
right. Nice residue, man.
Oh, well,
That
hey,
JFK thing too. Next time maybe we'll play that. See if you can play it if it goes through, and
I'm
I'll
gonna
send
try.
you that. I'll send you the video too of that globe
Let me
that
let
I
me
found.
let me see if I can do it again. I'm gonna try it one more time. See if we can play it here
Right.
again. I just gotta move it first and foremost. It gave me a little bit of a problem. I don't know why, but it's been acting like it wanted to open up on the wrong screen, and it did all types of weird stuff that wasn't right. Let me see if I can bring it up again. Let's see. Oh, could be the way it's what I want to open with too. I want to see if I can open it up another way, real quick, because man, that car was so perfect on there. It's one of those. And granted, I mean, no one's seeing it right now, but you know what I mean. It's one of those.
Yeah, it's like it's not something. The thing about that it gets me about it, it's like it's so recent. You know,
Right. I
the
mean, dude,
director, prop person, whatever, in movies, all these different people, and they just probably just remembered it the way it's always been, as they should, or somebody did. They're making a movie. Whoever's responsible for getting the car for the director, I don't know how it goes, but they probably didn't think they had to check on such a thing because they remembered. Obviously, if they looked it up, had to look it up, they would have seen it the way we do now.
yeah. All right, let me see if I can try it. Here it is.
I'm missing you here.
Did something make me stand out? Not my face. I know you're here to take a look at the car.
Oh, there's no missing it. Really?
Even someone your generation.
There
I'm
it is.
impressed.
Robin calls himself a
Oh, remember 10 seconds. I think it's 10 seconds, right?
Research the JFK assassination, and he's dead serious about all the details that come with it.
I don't care.
You want to sit in the car where the president sat? David, you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, I forgot who I was talking to. Kryptonian Prime.
What the customers want to do is to relive President.
Yeah, what's that? Relive it.
Right now, what we're talking about is that on that day, November 22nd, 1960.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, man. I've never
Yeah.
never seen any residue like that. That's a nice find, man.
Yeah, well, again, dude, it was one of those, and of course, I wasn't even looking for it, dude. That's the biggest issue I have with some of this residue, is that the way that it comes across sometimes. I mean, dude, it's like, my wife was watching the show Dark Tourist. I walk in and decide, all right, I'll sit down and watch it with her, and then while we're watching it, all of a sudden that comes up, and it was like, what? No way! And then hearing, oh, he's dead serious in his story. Well, you're dead wrong, because the car's wrong. And I just thought, and what's ironic is apparently I don't know if it was yesterday, today, or something, but they've been talking about JFK a lot. At least what I saw on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, why not? I'll bring it up now. At least try to get it out there twice, so that way we have it on there for the future, and anyone else that wants to watch it can watch it.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I mean, the JFK one's one of the super huge ones for me from a few years ago,
Yeah. It was the same one, man. I know, it was this. I'm always going to be stuck like that, dude. It was one of those, for me, my grandparents, I was raised by my grandparents on my father's side. So I had already a generational gap as it was. So anytime that, there was a documentary about JFK, we watched it, including the one with Kevin Costner. Remember that movie? JFK? Back and to the left. Back and to the left. But, and nowhere did I remember seeing 6-seaters. That's why it's like when you look it up now, and I mean, as this guy sitting here talking about it and you watch this episode, I mean, he starts saying things that was just not right. Things I remember, yes, but things that when you look at the Zapruder film or anything else, no. As a matter of fact, he points out where Zapruder was during the tour. So that's what's even more weird, is that in Zapruder's film, obviously we see the 6-seater, but yeah, here's this dude rolling around in a tour in a 4-seater that says, oh yeah, Zapruder was right over there. Well, if you knew that, then how you not have the car right? It's just really weird, dude. I thought it was really odd, and I was like, I had to get it out there and share it the best way I can, to at least show, man, that I'm not crazy, and neither are a lot of people, man. I don't know what this Mandela is. I have no idea what it's about or why it's affecting so many different things. My theory, again, is I still think, just like when I did the video about the black holes, that maybe there's something that they couldn't control. And it kind of sticks to me more so about the idea of a black hole that it can't control, because you've heard a lot of other people talk, like Lone and the rest, about how the Earth is. They seen the Earth as smaller or shrinking.
Right, right.
And if think about if you're letting the air out of a balloon slowly, then it would shrink over time. So that makes sense if everything's being pulled in. And again, don't even get me started about the fact that what we remember being in the Sagittarius arm is now a supermassive black hole known as Sagittarius A. What the hell? Really? I mean, how much more does it look like the breadcrumbs all fit to the same thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
that's why is the system putting this out here? It's like, what a coincidence, all the
exactly.
stars that they say there are.
Exactly. Oh, dude, yeah, and don't even get me started about that latest news BS crap that they were going about the supermassive black hole spitting out of Sagittarius A. You know what? Let's bring that up.
Right.
Now that I'm thinking about it here. Give me a minute. Yeah, I forgot about that. Let me pull that up real quick and I'll bring it up on the screen. I mean, first of all, when did stars move?
Well, that one was going at how fast? 4 million.
3.5 million miles an hour or something like that, miles per hour. It was something so ridiculous. And
S5 HVS1.
yeah, I'm bringing it up right now.
It's
Let me
supposed to
get
be
that.
29,000 light years from Earth. Is what they're saying.
At the speed of 3.7 miles per hour. So again, number one, when did anything ever come out of a black hole? That changed physics. And then two, when did stars move? To my knowledge, I thought stars all were stationary, as far as what I remember in science
Well,
class.
they all, what they say is they're all, what the systems has always said is that they're all moving out as if they were, raisins in bread, and the bread was baking. They're all moving away from each other, is what they say, and all these Milky Way galaxies. But that's based off like Big Bang theory, which I'm not into. And a lot of in the last few years, a lot of flat earthers have brought that up with the stars, and that's one of the things. If they're moving at such a speed away from each other constantly, why hasn't the constellation changed at all in thousands of years? How,
Exactly. See?
how, so it's like, yeah, right, they are, in the same spot. So it's like, it seems like it anyway to me. I think a lot of inside a lot of that flat Earth information, if you just leave out the flat Earth, are a lot of amazing questions about our solar system, our galaxy, that leave unanswered. That's why I've leaned towards being a geocentrist in the last few years. But just to get that out there, like personally, me, I'll never be convinced that the Earth is flat. But I'm
Mm.
not sure. I'll never be convinced that the solar system is really the model of how it is either. So I think it's
Yeah.
a possibility it's a sphere, because what I see a lot of time in the flat Earth community is people worshiping the creation and being so vigilant and adamant about the flatness of the Earth. And even a lot of Christians are that's almost like worshiping the creation. So it's like, what does it even matter? Don't have a big heated argument with someone else that's awake and you have so many things in common with, about like the shape of the earth, because ultimately, you're being kind of adamant about it, and it's like you're worshiping the creation, which brings you back to um what is that called, that druidism, paganism, but the druids worshiping nature, kind of that new age stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Paganism.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially like Christians in the community, Mandela affected, not, flat earth around, whatever. It's like, you shouldn't get too uptight about trying to convince people the earth is flat, because ultimately that model is something that we might never see with our own eyes, and spending
My
a little too much time on that.
my opinion on the whole thing is regardless if it's round, if it's flat, hexagon, cube, triangle, whatever, dude, we still gotta live on it. I mean, it's not even if we were to come up with the revelation of it's one or the other. Uh, Again, even if
Right.
it's not like all of a sudden they're gonna open up a door and let us out, or you guys found out. It's not like the Truman Show. Once he found out, they let him leave. I guess that's
Right.
that's where I just don't. I mean, I understand somewhat the debate, I guess, but I mean, on the real, man, the way I look at it is it's the whole fact of just like that old saying that first we learn to deceive or tangle web, alive a tangle web, something like that.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we
First
practice.
learn to
Yeah,
when we first practice to deceive. There you go.
right, man.
Which
It's true. It is. It's like a never-ending thing. Like I did get into hearing some stuff about it in the last few years, and feeling like, maybe that's what I think too. But at this point, there's no way, it can't be like, how it is with these deep psyops. And this will actually bring me to something else I wanted to mention. Um, but they can get pretty deep, man. But buried in that information, I think, is some really interesting stuff about the realm we live in, whatever it is. Some people think it's a realm. Personally, I don't trust anything over 30,000 feet, and what we know about anything over 30,000 feet, which is where planes fly, because it really always seems to just come from the military, whether it's NASA or some other space agency.
see
Anything above a certain height is like we can see it with our eyes, but we can't really know.
see you're funny. You brought up you can't trust anything over 30,000 feet, and I'm the opposite. I can't trust anything over 30,000 leagues, like down in the water. Like
That too, man. How many people have been to the bottom of the ocean? Jacques Cousteau. Who knows? Maybe he was
I don't think he even went that far, bro. I think he didn't go nearly the amount of deaths because they can't go too deep. It gets too much pressure and it crushes you. So there's a lot of things they don't know about. I mean, dude,
I
we're
bet.
too busy. We're too busy looking up and arguing about what's going on outside this planet. When there's a whole freaking the majority of this planet is covered by a body of water that we know barely anything about or what's in there. And I mean, the part that gets me is if everyone focuses so much on like UFOs, on things flying, dude, there's a whole subcategory of what they call USOs,
Yep.
flying strange objects underwater. And yet no one talks about that. That's the part that gets me. It's like everyone's focused on what's going on in the sky. If you actually did some research and dug a little bit into some of these USO sightings and stories, you'd find out that there's a lot of people that are seeing these things in the water and no one's really saying anything about it. I mean, dude, there's a base I come to find out recently that apparently the military or the Navy has such a way where they can actually maneuver a sub from the coast of California and surface at a lake inside Area 51 in Nevada.
Hmm.
I
Wow, man.
mean,
Well, that goes along with all the underground tunnels and stuff. It's like, why can't those tunnels be filled with water that
yeah,
connect
apparently
certain
they
things?
do. But I mean, it's a question of how did they do that? You know what I mean? Where did we get the technology for that type of feat? You can't tell me you just found it. That you decided to take a sub and say, let's cruise through here. Let's see where this goes. You know what I'm saying? It had to
Yeah,
be
it could
some
have been
sort
built, man.
of,
Maybe they use some of that $50 million a day from NASA
possibly. I don't
money.
know. It was something recently I learned about, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I was like, well, that just goes to show you. But I mean, see, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's worried about the skies. No one looks at the fact that there's other things, there's other ways and other things that can go on. And personally, I feel as just all of us together as a community just need to agree that, just because certain things may not be for you doesn't mean that, you're right and that person's wrong or vice versa. Because really, at the end, we don't know. I feel like anyone that claims they know is a fool usually. Because that's that saying. Only a fool will claim to know everything.
Yep.
But all right, man. Well, looks like we are nearing. We're about. Wow, we've actually been going on right now for 50 minutes.
Oh wow.
That's
Oh yeah.
crazy.
See a little ticker up there on
Yeah,
my end.
yeah. That was crazy, man.
Full program, man. I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna definitely do some more, guys. I mean, when you check this out, and I appreciate you checking it out. We'll definitely try to schedule some time to do it. I know pretty much probably why no one's here right now is everyone's probably over on Freaky Friday and on that stream. But either
Sure.
way, I at least
Gotta get
wanted to
Freaky
record it.
Friday on.
Yeah, well, I'll probably pop in there and check them out. At least wanted to get this out and get this residue and information out there for the world to check out. And also just to, pop back on, say hello to everybody, let them know, everyone know that I'm back, freezing my butt off here in Colorado. We got snow today. But yeah, if you guys like, by all means, please leave a message in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of this residue. Does any of it relate to you? Um, Stone and I will talk about some other subjects. Just we started off with Mandela because that's kind of how we met. We were both Mandela affected, and started talking here in the community, and we just decided, you know what, let's just get on here and share what we know and see what you guys thought. So I
Yeah, man.
appreciate. Hey,
Can't
man.
wait for some more talks in the future. Definitely.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. You know that we're always gonna get together and sit here and shoot the shite, as Lone would put it, or just anything, anything that we got to talk about or anything we find. I want to kind of put out there and let everyone
Yep.
see. But
Maybe next time we'll get into a little bit deeper into the Mandela Effect movie coming out, because I know we were talking about that a lot, and even from the coming attractions, there's a lot to be discussed in this community.
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, personally, I'm hoping. I'd like to see it. I'm a little skeptical, as you know, about it, as we discussed before, because I see where it's leading. But I'd still like to be able to see. Uh, oh, hi, Michelle. Awake and active. She's in here. She said she missed it. Yeah, but you know what? It's a good one. You'll definitely want to check it out on the replay because I shared quite a bit of residue as well as some video footage of JFK, a four-seater JFK car. But no, I mean, I definitely we're gonna get down and we'll pick it apart because I'm pretty sure you're gonna see things that maybe I didn't see and vice versa. So
Right. Yep.
we'll have to definitely look it over and see what we can come up, and we'll talk about it. We'll bring it up here.
Good.
I might even try to be sneaky and see if I can film some of it. but all right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and huh?
The shaky back row, pirated movie.
Yeah, something like that. Sit down in the corner, hiding in my popcorn, making it all look sneaky.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, and definitely, I mean, tell me, guys, what you guys think about the residue, and I'd love to hear your comments and let us know as far as what you thought of the broadcast. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Friday night, and stay safe out there. Bye.
All right, brother. Take it easy. Thanks for having me on, man.
All right.